Have you ever been hypnotized? According to my today's guest, we all have in our lives. And his role, and the succeeding one, if I may say, is to de-hypnotize. Do I sound strange to you today? And the explanation is coming up. Stay tuned. If I should answer my own question, I would say yes, I have been hypnotized. It was a long time ago, 12, 13 years ago, 3-4 times. Not successfully though. I probably wasn't a very good listener, and I have to tell the truth, I didn't even know what to expect. I was very confused. Until 2-3 weeks ago, when I met this very unique person who, well, I'm not gonna finish. Something else we have for you to watch. Watch closely this short video clip.
Imagine what it would be like to see yourself lying on the couch you're lying on now. Good. I want you to imagine standing beside yourself. Imagine that this is your conscious mind being left asleep. I want you to imagine me pressing the remote button and clicking 10 years into the future. See it as if it's already happened, Mia. 3, 2, and 1. You can slowly take your time, come back and open your eyes whenever you're ready.
It was just so amazing. I was somewhere else, completely somewhere else. And I saw myself very quickly and very clearly where I'm going to be. I didn't have to think twice. It was right there.
Well, the voice belonged to internationally known hypnotist and producer, Gerard the Hypnotist. Hello, Gerard.
Hi, how are you?
Welcome and thank you. Thank you, first of all, this is a huge privilege for me, having you here. You're so well known.
Wow.
And you,
thank you,
as we will get into, there are some huge names. They reveal that you're the best hypnotist in the world. We will get to that very quickly. Number one, I would like to give Gerard's website, gerardthehypnotist.com. That's where we can find most of it about him. That's where I found him. And I think we owe some explanation to the people. What was happening, because it seems like they're still confused.
Well, first, I want to say thanks so much for having me on the show. This is wonderful.
My pleasure.
I'm a big fan of the show.
Thank you.
And so it's great to be here. And yeah, watching that clip, you know, that was, I guess, almost 3 weeks ago now. And just watching that clip, because I haven't seen it since we did it, you were really you were very, very peaceful looking at you.
I almost look like there's no life in me.
Yeah.
When I saw it.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was a great experience. And I'm thrilled that I could be...
That it worked.
Your first, it worked for you, and you had an experience. So.
Well, I was told before that I can't relax enough, that it was my fault. And
well, I don't think that it's a matter of fault or blame when it comes to being hypnotized, because like you said, you go in, you have no idea what to expect, and it can be quite scary, I think, for people that haven't been, I guess, properly prepared for or been informed of what it is they're going to do. It's the equivalent of me saying, look, there's a dark cave over there, go in there. And you're like, well, why, or what's in there? And I go, oh, don't worry about it, just go in. It's terrifying, and hypnosis actually can be like that, because people have this fear of being out of control of their mind.
Well, we're skeptical, right?
And that as well.
So,
yep. There's a lot of people that will go into it with this belief in their head of, this isn't going to work for me. I'm not going to let this happen. There's a lot of misconceptions about hypnosis, and me as a hypnotist, I think it's kind of part of my duty to try and clear some of those up every chance that I can. So I think one of those misconceptions is probably that the hypnotist has or possesses some sort of power or ability that you don't. And it's just simply not true. There is no special power. There's no, the days of a guy swinging a pocket watch doing this in front of a young girl's face are over. That's not what hypnosis is. You don't need a pocket watch, and there's no special power. It's just more like being a tour guide of this process of relaxation and getting people into a state of mind where their unconscious mind can be open to suggestion effectively to make a change. And that's really what hypnosis to me is about, is making a change. Not fixing people, because people aren't broken. They don't need to be fixed. They just need to have their perspective sometimes changed a little bit, if that makes sense.
It does. Well, to me, yes, because I heard you. We spent several hours, so you opened my mind. I'm always open to new things, you know, because I like to know. And it's really up to us at the end of the day if we're going to go with it or not. And I think it's a good idea to let ourselves open, not, you know, not to be in a square box. And I just have to say, it's not only that you helped me to get relaxed, you got something out of me that I didn't even know it's there. Number one, I can relax. There's one thing I didn't know I can. This is the one thing I have problem to relax. That's why yoga and all these things are not for me. And then, you know, I don't know if you remember, because I don't know if you have these steps with everybody. You were leading me through different steps, and you got me to one point and tried me to visualize where I'm going to be, where I'm going to see in the future, myself in the future. I think you said in a couple of years.
Yeah, well, this is a great, this kind of process, or this leading, as you said, it's exactly what it is it's very hard to relax, to try and relax by yourself. I'm a hypnotist, and I have a terrible time, you know, trying to go to bed. Sometimes you're thinking of all these things, and you know, your brain just goes, oh, go to sleep and relax. And the more you try, the harder it gets. So having a guide or somebody to help you along this and lead you down this kind of path into this state is really an important part of it. But what was I'm curious to ask you, what was your experience like? So basically, for people watching that 30-minute chunk of the clip they didn't see, we kind of went on a journey, and it was a really neat thing. And I don't know how much you want to talk about it, but it was amazing for me to see how somebody who had never been hypnotized and kind of didn't believe that they could because they couldn't relax, ended up, what happened with you was amazing, because you had
amazing for me.
Tell me about it.
Because I remember, you know, yes. Do you want to switch chairs?
Sure, yeah.
I remember every word you said, I have to say. I heard you very clearly. And you were leading me through steps to go somewhere to see a big screen, TV screen, and to see myself doing what? You asked me, what are you doing? Where are you?
That's right.
And I didn't have to think. You know, it's the same like somebody asks you sitting here, what's your dream? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? And then people say, well, I can do this, and I'm good in this. And suddenly, being there, I see this screen, and like I said at the end of the hypnosis, it was pure, clear picture. I was in the middle of a beautiful set, and I had late night show.
Wow.
I know it was one of my dreams one day. It wasn't that clear because I feel, how can I get there? You know, Vancouver doesn't have late night show.
Right.
And
you're pretty close now. You got a great set and an amazing setup here. You just need to...
I may have great show. It's not late though. Nice. But I will. As soon as you were saying it, like now, if you ask me the question now, I would probably have to think where I want to be and what I want to do. But there, you told me to look at the screen and ask me what I see, and it was there. When I woke up, I felt like I slept 9 hours. When you left, the energy and the ideas that were coming to me, and I feel like it's not stopping yet. It was like the battery completely recharged. It was an amazing feeling, not only the time when I was waking up. I mean, I closed the door behind you, and it was just the biggest things were coming out of me. And then I felt like, wow. Yeah. But, you know, what talking about me, yes, obviously I can be hypnotized. What do you think? Can anybody be hypnotized?
Absolutely.
Yeah? Can we?
As a matter of fact, that's one of the most common first questions I get asked when I meet people. Is they say, oh, can anyone be hypnotized? Because they want to know. So there's probably a lot of people watching now that are wondering, can they be hypnotized? And there's actually a really fantastic test, we'll say. And it's not a test you pass or fail, it's a test you take. And if it's cool, I can do this for your audience watching right now.
Can we?
Okay, yeah. But you don't do it because I don't want you to fall asleep.
No,
but don't worry,
no.
You won't get hypnotized if you take part in this. You'll just feel really relaxed. If you're obviously driving a car or something, pull over. I hope you're not watching. You have real diehard fans watching your show on their phone while they drive. But just make sure you're somewhere safe and seated. And hold your arms out in front of you like this. Like I said before, you won't be hypnotized, I promise. You'll just have this great experience. Take your left hand and turn it palm up. Good. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Good. And deeper through your nose and out through your mouth. Good. In this third breath, I want you just to close your eyes and listen to my voice. Deep breath in, deep, 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 out. Close your eyes and relax. Good. Now I want you to imagine in your left hand, that's palm up, I want you to imagine you've got a phone book there. Imagine the weight of that phone book. start to feel that weight pressing down your palm. And at the same time, I want you to imagine you have on your right wrist a string tied. Imagine at the end of that string, there's 100 helium balloons that pull your arm up towards the clouds, up towards the ceiling, wherever you are. At the same time as that right wrist goes up, 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 the left hand gets heavier and heavier. As that phone book gets heavier and heavier, you'll feel that weight go down deeper and deeper. And as you continually feel your left hand getting heavier and simultaneously feeling your right hand get lighter, that can keep going as long as you feel good to relax now. Excellent. I'm going to count from 3 to 1. When I get to 1, stay frozen and open your eyes. 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes. Excellent. So some people are sitting at home like this. Some people are like this. There's a few of you out there with fantastic imaginations that are probably just like this and just going, what just happened? So,
Gerard, sorry, I was watching Rick, one of our producers, standing there, and his hands were like this, you know.
Yeah.
So obviously it does work. You did it with me, and it worked. So
yeah, you responded very well to that, which is a great sign that you have a very active imagination, which is one of the things you need for hypnosis. You also need to be able to have good focus and concentration to hypnosis. And you also need to be able to take kind of direction or instruction. So as long as you have those 3 things, pretty much anybody can be hypnotized. So congratulations to everybody out there who was successful with that.
So we can maybe rewind the tape and go back and try to do it again. And all these things can be really healing, right?
Yeah, I'm a little hesitant to use the word healing as a hypnotist, but that is a word that a lot of people who have been hypnotized have used for some reason, because I think what the feeling is that you were somewhere, now you're somewhere else. You're better off for it, which is great. And if healing is a word to describe that, fantastic. I think that there's probably a more accurate way to describe it.
I believe so. Sorry that my vocabulary is not.
No, because I can't really describe it either. To be honest, I just always have this kind of thing in my head that a lot of people are like, I'm broken, fix me, and they're looking for whatever it is, a pill or something to fix them. And I don't think inherently people are necessarily broken. I just think it's about a perspective shift. It's about a change in the way that you see the world and how you think the world sees you.
Yeah. Well, how I felt last time when you brought me to my land where I really liked it, I felt that, why didn't you just leave me there?
Yeah, yeah. It's nice. It's a nice feeling, isn't it? A lot of people want to, don't want to. And at my website that you mentioned earlier, there'll be a little file there that people that want to try this, not this test, but another one, to help them relax at night, they can go there, click it and download it. It's just an MP3 file, and they can listen to that before bed, and that's free. I just offer that to people. That's
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's great. So again, GerardTheHypnotist.com, that will be the place where we can find everything what Gerard was talking about right now. We will be back with more than you can experience. Stay tuned. Okay, so we are back with Gerard the Hypnotist. The last half of the show you could experience a little bit different things that you could in the different shows. And I'm, again, very excited to have you here. I was very much looking forward to working with you.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yes, that's my pleasure. And Gerard's website, I'm going to repeat it again, GerardTheHypnotist.com. Easy. I really love the websites like that. People remember. Easy to remember.
Yeah.
You know, when I was searching for somebody, your field, and really didn't think I'm going to have somebody that kind of name, and I saw your website and I saw your work, and another thing what came up right away was the big names you were working with. And as much you work in front of camera as you work behind the scenes as well, you're very flexible. And you know, a lot of people may not really underestimate, but think that the work behind camera is just so many times much more difficult and complex than the people sitting in front of cameras. We rely on those people. And
I've been really lucky that I've got a chance to experience being, the performer in front of the camera or on the stage, but then also kind of as a creative producer or creative consultant for other artists and performers in my field. One of your shirt you got on there. And,
I don't know if people can see, but I carry Chris Angel's t-shirt.
Yep, yeah, and I'm sure he'll see this and be happy about that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I've had a chance to work with him. Other magicians are like David Blaine, and a very good friend of mine from Ireland, Keith Barry, who
Sorry to interrupt you, but I think you brought some pictures, right?
That's Peter Ravine. He's probably the reason I do everything that I've done in hypnosis today, and it's a little rough to see that because he just passed away, and Yeah, he's incredible. That was literally maybe 5 minutes after meeting him. I went to Las Vegas and performed there at the Riviera. Must have been 2004, I believe. And I did a tribute to him at the end of my show, and I got a chance to meet him. He came down, and I was just blown away to meet him.
Isn't it beautiful, at least you had the chance to meet him in person?
It was 20 years. My father took me to see him when I was 12. My father was also a magician. He took me to see him when I was 12, and I realized immediately that that's what I wanted to do. I started reading books and studying hypnosis since I was 12, 13 years old, and nobody would let a 13-year-old try and hypnotize him, so I ended up getting into doing sleight of hand magic and pickpocketing and all these fantastic things just for entertainment purposes. And then later when I actually started performing hypnosis, it was 20 years later to the day. It was actually on my birthday I performed that I met him, on my birthday, exactly 20 years. And I sat and had lunch with him, and he talked and gave me some great advice. But the best thing was he put his arm on my shoulder and shook my hand. He says, "Gerard, you have my blessing." And that meant the world to me, just to know that this guy, and I think, I mean, every hypnotist in Canada, you know, everyone would love Ravine. I mean, he was enormous, you know. So that was a meeting of a lifetime for me. That really made me just go full steam ahead and think, wow, this is fantastic.
Well, you know what? It's the who you are and what you do. That's a great advantage. You had the chance to meet such amazing people. Yeah,
I feel absolutely blessed. You know, I kind of grew up in Victoria on the island, and with very humble beginnings, and you know, so when you're from a small town like that, a small area, just to move out of town, the small area is a big accomplishment. You know, so I feel very lucky that I've had the privilege of being able to meet some amazing people and travel to some amazing places and work with people that I've idolized. It's incredible.
Well, as I mentioned, I think briefly, not Gerard is only hypnotist. He's producer. He worked behind the scenes many times worldwide. But there is something else. As far as I know and I read, you're also mind reader.
Well, I don't say mind reader, but I say mind illusionist.
Okay, mind illusionist.
Mind illusionist, yeah, which is kind of, this is an interesting thing because, I mean, really I'm a hypnotist, and I work in an entertainment aspect of hypnosis, not in a therapeutic primarily, although I have worked with a lot of people in that genre. So, but what I've basically done is take all the great, fascinating things that I love about hypnosis, all the really amazing things I love about magic and mind reading, and combine them together into this kind of hybrid performance art. Before the show, I gave you some cards, just blank cards. You still have them.
Yes.
And I asked you to go somewhere private in your dressing room or somewhere.
I did.
Close the door, make sure there's no cameras. Take one single card and a pen and draw a picture of anything that you like. And then I asked you to seal that in an envelope, and you did all of that in seclusion by yourself. And you have everything. And I even asked you to sign your name over the seal, so if I had flying monkeys that could pickpocket that from you, they couldn't forge your signature because
I
it's not something they do.
I wrote via Mia over the ceiling.
Fantastic. So the challenge for me, I guess, and the reason that I had you do this before the show is because people watching always think the same thing. If I was to get you to do this now, they might think that there's a monitor there that I can see or whatnot. So this is, you're happy that this has been fair.
I'm curious myself. So what am I doing now?
So I want you to hang on to that. I'm going to paper and a pen. I'm going to see if I can get inside your head and tell you what you're thinking, what you drew, okay? So I want you to hold the envelope between your hands, between your palms, just like that, straight out, and look at me right here. Take a deep breath in, a deep breath out, and relax. Good. Take another deep breath in, deep breath out, and relax. Third one, deep, and relax. I want you to start to draw this in your mind. Don't say anything out loud. Do this just in your mind. Don't say anything aloud, but tell me in your mind whether you want to start this drawing at the top, middle, or bottom. Just say it in your mind. Okay, good. Now, you might hear my voice because I'm hearing yours. Okay, good. That's a straight line you just drew. Go very slowly. And there's another one. Go down now to the bottom, please. Go back up. Okay, okay. I think I might know what this is. I'm going to exchange with you just for a second. Would you hold that?
Can I take
There's
a
no
look?
monitor. Don't look yet. I don't know if I got this right.
What
Here's
about
all the
the-
cards, just so everyone can see. There's a bunch. I gave them to... Oh, you put them all in there. Okay, great. And here... Wow. That's what you drew.
I can't draw.
Either can I.
Oh my God. What is this? How can you know these things? I just don't know what to say.
Well, I can't tell you how I did it, but I can tell you that I don't believe that necessarily this whole psychic thing is true or real, because I've never seen it. But that's about as close as I can get to replicating it, making it look and feel for you.
You are very close, like anybody can. And listening to you, I wish I can stay with you another at least 2 hours. Unfortunately, the time is saying that I have to say thank you and goodbye.
Absolutely.
But before I do, please go to gerardthehypnotist.com. There is much more to see and find out. I know that you have plans for the future. I know you have huge dreams and everything stuff. But Gerard, before you go, I would love to have your signature on the third season cup.
Wow, great.
For everybody else, please
Where should
go.
I sign? Can I sign on the bottom?
Why would you be on the bottom?
Because
you should be on the top.
I love being the underdog. I've always
Then
been the
be
underdog.
anywhere you want.